Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. It's not a Tuesday, it is a Thursday, DACA Thriving Thursday. And we just had to join you today because of the DACA ruling from the Supreme Court that we just got today. We are so excited, so delighted, and we had actually scheduled a meeting today with two folks that are just being in the journey with us and with the rest of you, DACA and undocumented folks, fighting for DACA, fighting for the rights of the immigrants. And so we just decided we were going to record something for next Tuesday, but we just decided we have to respond. We have to celebrate in the community. So thank you for joining us for DACA Thriving Thursday.
Yeah, and so obviously, I mean, I don't know, you didn't really introduce yourself, but I'm Norma Ramirez. I'm a plaintiff, and we won, we won for today, and we are making that call. And I also want to introduce Monica Cornejo, who is also a DACA recipient and who's also a very incredible woman, and I'll let her speak on her behalf. And I want to introduce also Cecilia Sanchez, who I met in Mexico actually through advanced parole, and who has also been fighting in it with us. We've built this friendship, and even if she's not a DACA recipient, she's been here to support, and she even traveled all the way from Mexico to DC when we were at the Supreme Court. And so all of this is really in an effort to contain the spirit of community, that we are not alone, that we are connected, and that there is so much of a celebration for all of us today.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Norma. I think I'm so excited. I'm a little bit scrambling here and trying to get my wits around the whole thing. But just to remind you all here, this is, we welcome you to check the Thrive Center website, where we have, Norma and I, with the support of the Thrive Center, have been posting mental health resources to support the DACA and undocumented community during this time, and to and we have been also having this Facebook Live session. Already, this will be our fifth Facebook Live session to unpack some of these mental health resources and to talk in a little bit more about some of the strengths and resilience, the vulnerabilities and strengths of our community. So we're glad that you're here joining us. My name is Dr. Lisseth Rojas-Flores. I'm a psychologist at the School of Psychology at Fuller Theological Seminary. And of course, it comes very late down the line. But again, we have been reminding you that we have these resources, and you always put my little accordion because I think I'm so proud that Norma and I have been working with the support of other DACA folks in trying to present some resources for the rocky journey that we have had so far with DACA. But what do you guys have to say, Monica and Norma? Let's start with them first, and Cecilia and I, we can chime in along the way. But this is fabulous news. It kind of took me by surprise, I have to say. I was not expecting a response on Thursday. So I think we're all in that space. Well, how do you respond to this ruling?
I can let you go.
Go for it.
Well, for me, joining the lawsuit, like I felt, this is like where my faith comes in. I felt like this was something that God was calling me to do, that this was something really for justice to prevail, and I felt like we were going to win, just without knowing anything else. I felt like we were going to win, and yes, throughout the process, because different things changed with the Supreme Court justices, with just decisions that were coming down that weren't very positive as they related also to immigration, and so there was a bit of wavering of what this would be like, but I am so happy that this is a win, that this is and I want to say that it's in conjunction, I think, to the timing of everything that has happened in terms of with the pandemic, with the protests from our Black African American brothers and sisters, that in the context of what is happening, it is something that happened together, and that it's a win for all of us. And absolutely, this is not the end. There is so much more work that we have to do. But for today, this is our win and we can celebrate. And new applications are supposed to start happening. Advanced parole is supposed to start happening. We don't know how the administration is going to respond, but that is what the decision means. It means that at some point, DACA, the full program of DACA needs to start again.
Yes. I mean, Lord knows we needed a breather. I'm so glad. So Monica, how was it for you when you got the news?
Yeah, so actually like Norma said, I wasn't expecting that it would happen today. I actually found out because Norma texted me this morning. I was asleep and I checked my phone and she just said, "We've won." And I was like, what did we win? So I was so
the lottery.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I thought she had applied a grant or something. And I was like, what? Like, what did we win? So I looked and I was so happy. I texted my advisor right away and she called me and she was super happy. And I was super happy too. But like Norma said, this happiness, we do have to take it with a grain of salt because the fight continues. This isn't the end, but yes, we should definitely celebrate because it's a huge win.
It's a huge win. And Cecilia, you're in Mexico. I think we need to let people know that we have Cecilia Sanchez is joining us from Mexico. How was that for you, getting those news over there, and what can you tell us about what's...
I've been waking up early every Monday and Thursday for the past, I don't know how many weeks, months, whatever, to check if there was a decision on the Supreme Court. And today I was up early as usual. But for whichever reason, I wasn't refreshing my Twitter. And what started happening was that lots of my friends started sending me the news on WhatsApp, which I think comes to speak about something that Norma has mentioned many times, which has to do with community. There's a point where the fight, even though it's definitely not mine, and it's not definitely the fight of my friends, starts becoming something that is community-based. And so I had this whole range of people from many different backgrounds that are not related to DACA at all, that live in a different country, that were checking the news and resending them to me. So that's how I found out. And then I immediately wanted to phone Norma, but she was already getting the news from other people. But yeah, that's one of the things that happened, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful just to see how so many people were coming in together for someone they didn't even know, and for a group of people, for hundreds of thousands of young people that they don't know, and still they feel the need to join this fight and to celebrate justice.
I just have to say this. We were planning to record with Cecilia and with Monica, pre-record the little piece that we have ready for Tuesday for our DACA Tuesday session. But obviously we line up that recording for today at noon, and with the ruling, then we just said, you know what, we just have to go live. We just have to be there. We just have to react. And I was very moved with Norma. At one point we said, well, maybe you, Norma, and I, because we've been hosting this Facebook Live, we should go live, the two of us. And she said, no. This is a communal celebration. We have Monica and Cecilia lined up. We are going to go together on this. And I think that's exactly what you're emphasizing, Cecilia, that this is a communal effort. Our community has come together. We have persevered. We have fought together. We have cried together. We need to celebrate this together. And I'm so happy that you're here with us as well, because it is a win for our community. And I'm glad that you're here with us.
Yeah.
I echo that sentiment. I think, Ceci, I really appreciate you saying that it's a communal effort. I think this is not only like a win for the US, I think it's a global win. Because if you think about migration and issues with migration, migration has been a natural phenomenon that occurred since the beginning of the world. And for people to be building walls and building legislations around stating who can enter and cannot enter a piece of land, which was stolen, I think that this is definitely a win at the global scale, because it shows that, you know, migration is something that is human rights and that we should all be allowed to do without any sort of permission.
Yeah. And as we're kind of going through this, from getting the call, like I got a call from I still call her my boss. She's not my boss anymore, but I used to work at this nonprofit. She's the one that called me, and she's like crying on the phone saying that we won, and I didn't understand what was happening. I accidentally like tripped and I hung up on her, and it was a mess. But it was a shock, and you know, in the whole process, I was still trying to figure out. But I think also in terms of the power of community is when we have people who can help us feel what we're feeling. And with that, I would like it if Cecilia could talk about the song that she shared with me, because honestly, the moment that I heard it, I started to cry. I started to feel the relief of what this has meant. And I would want to share that with everyone. It is a song in Spanish, but it is so, I think, pertinent to what at least I have been trying to say, that we matter, that it's about us as people, that it's not about our background, it's not about our criminal record, if we have one or not, it's not about you know, what is seen as worthy as immigrants, but that it is about the simple fact that we are human beings and that we matter. And so I leave that up to Cecilia, and if you can introduce the song.
I'll see if I can say it without crying, and if I cry, I hope I still make sense. So I must confess that I was expecting this decision to not be good for Dreamers. And so in preparation for that, what I did is I asked a really good group that they're called Membrush, that are here in Mexico City, to record a song for Norma and for all of the Dreamers in the United States. And this song is a song that has two very important messages that I thought were necessary. The first one is that it begins by speaking about who I am. It is I am. And it is a big I am. It is the big I am, with everything that's holy and everything that's not holy, in the full range of experiences and emotions that a person can have. And that's the first thing that the song mentions. And then the chorus is a chorus of bringing people together. And so what the chorus says is come and tell me, come and share what's going on with you, because emotions need to be shared. And if you just keep them down, they're gonna die. So come and share them with me. And I think those were the two main messages that I wanted to give Norma and the rest of the Dreamers, regardless of what the decision was. And that's the song. It's called Yo Soy, and it was written by Piero, who's Argentinian.
And I will play it now. I'll play a few pieces of it.
Hola. We're going to be posting the lyrics also on the chat, so you can follow, but we'll amplify this next time as well. Go for it.
Yes. So.
Hola, somos Mambrush, dueto acústico. Como Mambrú, el que se fue a la guerra, qué dolor, qué pena. Pero con ese H al final. Víctor Lora en la guitarra y Sofía Gabriel en la voz. Y esta canción va especialmente dedicada a Norma Ramírez y junto con ella a los cerca de 2 millones de jóvenes que escucharon la decisión de la Suprema Corte de Justicia de Estados Unidos el día de hoy. Yo soy, yo soy, yo soy. Soy agua, playa, cielo, casa blanca. soy mar Atlántico, viento y América. Soy un montón de cosas santas, mezclado con cosas humanas. ¿Cómo te explico? Cosas mundanas. Fui niño, cuna, techo, tepa, manta. Más miedo, cuco, gritos, llanto, raza. Después mezclaron las palabras, o se escapaban las miradas. Algo pasó, no entendí nada. Vamos, decime, contame todo lo que a vos te está pasando ahora. Que si no, cuando está tu alma sola llora. Hay que sacarlo todo afuera, como la primavera. Nadie quiere que adentro algo se muera. Hablar mirándose a los ojos, sacar lo que se puede afuera, para que adentro nazcan cosas nuevas, 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 nuevas.
Wow. How lovely and how fitting. It's exactly the message that Norma has been trying to communicate all along, right? It's a communal thing that we all have holy things, especially, I mean, the DACA and undocumented communities that often tends to be marginalized and relegated to a second class. That there are holy things in us, there are human things in us, there are mundane things in us, and we have to embrace the strengths of vulnerabilities in community. And then we have to take care of ourselves. You know, we have to talk about our emotions and feelings. And I love it, Cecilia. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful gift.
And I really want to say that, you know, it's the thing that touches me. I think in hearing the song, I'm just reminded of everyone that has come together, of just how hard all of this has been, and that through, you know, these relationships, the connections that we've built, that people, and I think, you know, people are watching now, you know who you are, that have come and really put their lives on the line. And I keep saying that is so important, that we build these relationships with people who are willing to go outside of their comfort zone, who are willing to just say, you know what, I don't understand what's going on, but I am with you, and here it is, and I'm here, and it's my life, and it's my resources, and it's my love for you, and you know, people look at me as being someone on the front lines, and while, you know, my name is one of the things that's on there on this lawsuit, I just cannot imagine doing this alone. I cannot imagine even getting this far had it not been for everyone that supported in all their different ways, through being there in person, through messaging, through, you know, even just study groups together. Like, it all matters. And so this is ours. And today, like I said, we celebrate. We will continue fighting. We are not forgetting the fact that DACA is not enough, that this is not the solution. But today we just breathe a little better, knowing that justice prevailed today. You're muted.
My dog was barking and I was crying, so I don't want all of that to be recorded. But I think it's part of the celebration. I think, you know, like the song says, bring all your emotions. You know, the sadness, the tears of joy, the deep hurt together, and let's honor it and let's celebrate it together. What's your response to what you just heard, Monica? That's
so many emotions right now. I think it's definitely very beautiful, and it does resonate, you know, with just like Norma was saying, and you're saying, community and how, you know, not only for me, not only who I am, but who I was shaped to be by these laws and oppression. And so all of that is at the same time, like I'm reacting to everything right now and how we got here. And, you know, we're a product of our socialization, and we're a product of what's going on. But, you know, as much as there are people who are trying to deny humanity, there are allies and there's community who support us, like Cecilia and yourself, and, you know, all of those people who are accomplices, who go out and help us and, you know, use their power to you know, change.
Yeah. I recall when we went in November, Cecilia and I joined Norma. We accompanied Norma to the Supreme Court. We obviously couldn't go in, but we were there rooting for her. We were freezing, I remember that too. But I just recall that image, and that it was so powerful. It's already imprinted in my memory. When Norma, you came out with the rest of the plaintiffs, and you raised your hands, and we had a big crowd of folks outside rooting for you. It just felt so powerful. Cecilia, do you recall that? And what are some of your recollections of that moment? Because I think that moment, that feeling is coming back to me right now with the positive ruling from the Supreme Court today. What do you have to say about it?
It was an experience of immense power. I don't think I had ever fully realized it. I've been friends with Norma for I don't know how many years now. I think 3 or 4 or 5. I don't remember.
Oh, more than that. What?
More than that. Probably more than that. We've been friends for a very long while, and I had never looked at her the way I looked at her. I looked at her that day. We were all there was a crowd of, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 people. We were outside of the Supreme Court. And we were all chanting and we were all freezing, and suddenly just they come out, and we see them come out, and it's this huge stairs. They're made of marble, and they just start walking outside. Norma is right front and center. There are some videos there where she's like right in the front and center of it all. And they just stand on those stairs, stairs that were built the way they were built, with marble, with all of the meanings that has. And they just raise their hands and start singing, "Home is here, undocumented, unafraid, sin papeles, sin miedo," and just leading the crowd that's beneath. There was so much power. It was a big I am again. It was like, I am not afraid. I am here on the stairs, and I'm showing who I am, and I'm showing that we are together and we're resisting, and we're not afraid. We are doing it. And that day, it was resistance. That day was resilience. Today, I was watching the videos again, and I was we're sharing them with some friends, and they were like, for today, that is victory. For today, that is the celebration. That it actually worked. It actually was accomplished. It was a huge experience. It was a huge experience. That's when you see the power of people coming together and standing up.
Yeah, and just I want to emphasize that I had also my best friend from, like, who knows, I can't even remember, like 2008, and I had definitely people from Pasadena, you know, who joined, and it was really a big community effort, and I was supported there. I wasn't alone in DC, and that's what I take from all of this, is that we're not alone, and that we're all fighting at various different levels. You know, when DACA was implemented, like, I wasn't a part of it. You know, I wasn't there protesting, but then my turn came to show up and stand up by joining this lawsuit. And so at different levels, we are all contributing, and we are a part of this movement. And, you know, if there's another lawsuit, someone else can take it. I'm done.
It's ready to do. You know, and I think, Norma, I want to thank you, because you come into Fuller to pursue your doctoral degree in psychology, also shape our community, our academic institution, in raising the awareness of for DACA and undocumented students. And I mean, we have walked together since you joined Fuller, and it's been quite a journey. And we have been raising our voice there. So it's localized, it's amplified to the state level, to the national level, but every single step has been a fight, and in trying to bring awareness into really other people that can support us and support you in particular as you move along this uncharted path. I mean, and kudos to you, because you have been brave, and so we're fighting, blowing the horn, and pushing through an agenda and shifting that narrative. I mean, that to me has been amazing. But we all benefit. We all have been touched by this, whether we are documented or undocumented, or just the general public. I mean, we have been blessed by the fight and the solidarity, but and the perseverance of people like you, Norma, and of people like you, Monica, and advocates like you, Cecilia. So I'm extremely grateful for that.
Thank you. I know we're close to ending. I don't know if Monica has something that you want to add. I want to make sure that if there's anything you want to express, you can before we end.
Yeah, I think we definitely covered a lot, and I think that one thing that you've already said I'd like to highlight is that this is it's a group effort. So definitely celebrate, but keep on moving forward. This isn't a permanent solution, and work for also helping those who, like our parents, aren't able to obtain DACA, or refugees who come in later dates, and also just help with releasing the children who are in cages right now. So I think celebrate, then let's get stronger, and then move forward and fight for a permanent solution.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I just want to say that once COVID is over, we have a lot of parties that we need to get together to celebrate this.
I agree.
Yes, but I agree that, and then we need a lot of big hugs. But in the meantime, we got to do a lot of virtual hugs. We got to celebrate big. This is a huge accomplishment. It has to be celebrated. It has, we have to alert everyone, and we have to refuel on this, because we've been going on empty for a long, long time. And even more so these latter days with the pandemic and with all the other social unrest that's been happening. And so this is definitely a true blessing, and it's time to refuel and celebrate things. So don't wait until we are open. Find creative ways, which is one of the things we've been talking about all throughout. Find creative ways to communicate your love, your care, and to honor the hard work that you have done so far. I think that's very, very important. Cecilia, do you have any other last minute things? You have said brilliant things so far. So, okay. Well, I just want to remind you all that next Tuesday, which is usually the days that we air the DACA Thriving Tuesday, we will be actually talking about how to move forward with a vision for the future. I mean, like that, how fitting it is for us to conclude our Facebook Live sessions with that topic. It was and given the current Supreme Court ruling. So we are going to continue to be talking to Monica and Cecilia about, in Norma, the four of us, kind of trying to come up with ideas, suggestions on how to move forward with a vision for the future, because I think we all recognize this is a big win, but this is not the end of the journey. The journey continues, and how do we do, or we are grounded in the reality that we have in front of us, how we celebrate it, and how we envision ourselves in the future. We have a lot of things we want to share with you, so we welcome and we encourage you to join us next Tuesday. What is this Tuesday? The 23rd. I'm sorry, these days with the pandemic, every day is the same. So Tuesday, June 23rd at 10 a.m. Pacific time, obviously 7 a.m. Eastern time. Join us for Facebook Live, again with Monica Cornejo, who is a PhD
student at UC Santa Barbara in the Department of Communication.
Exactly. And then we have Cecilia. Cecilia, remind us again where you are and what you do.
I am in Mexico City, and I have experience in working in consulates in the United States, helping Mexican people over there.
And Cecilia is a fierce DACA advocate and a great friend of Norma. And because she's a great friend of Norma, she's a good friend of mine.
Thank you.
And of course, Norma, who is a candidate in the clinical psychology department at Fuller Theological Seminary, but brave plaintiff in the DACA case that has culminated today with fantastic news. I'm so excited. A fierce warrior and an advocate and a spokeswoman regarding the rights of immigrants, and particularly DACA folks. So join us this Tuesday for more conversations. We're so glad that you joined us today to just help us unravel our joy. And after so much fight and walking together. Blessings to all of you. Norma, I leave you to have the last words. Say goodbye.
Just thank you. And we'll keep fighting. You know, that's what we do. We're resilient, we matter. And that's the message for all of us. We matter.
We do it. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Cecilia, for joining us. Thank you, all of you again. Blessings to all of you. Go celebrate big.
Thank you.